on Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, mums, and more, plus porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Couple Chevrolet GMC, and we want to thank all of our customers for a great September. And now it's time for our annual Halloween sales event happening right now at Koppel. Get 0% financing at Koppel. You heard right, 0% financing on select new models. Also, huge discounts up to $11,500 are available. It's our annual Halloween sales event. Get $11,500 off or 0% financing at Koppel. So please stop on by or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. 0% with roof credit.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Behind the camera, at the news desk, on the sideline, coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Off the Field with 1011 sports reporter Kendall Lanier on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome to Off the Field. I'm your host, Kendall Lanier. You can use 402-464-5685 for the Starter Heyman text line. And to put a face to the voice, you can watch on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Allo Cable Channel 961. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so excited to have Sam and Allie Weber here today, who are both on the Nebraska water ski team. Thank you for joining.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you.
happy to be here.
Yeah,
Yes.
Thank you for having us, Kendall.
So first, tell me how you guys got into water skiing, because I was very surprised to know that Nebraska has their own team.
Yeah. So our grandpa water skied back when he was a kid, and it's always been in our life since then. Our dad started to do it. They would always go to the lakes, and then him and my aunt skied a ton. And then when we were born, Sam skied a lot when he was a kid. I wasn't so into it, but we would go to the lake every weekend, and they would pull us behind the boat, and then one thing led to another, and I guess here we are.
Yeah. And go
Yeah,
ahead.
like Allie said, we've been around it our whole lives. We've grown up at the lake, and so we're super fortunate to have a big family that it's all involved in the same thing. And kind of with that, we've made so many friends and family friends and stuff that we've been around the same exact thing with the same exact people for so long. And so it's, like Allie said, she wasn't super into competitive water skiing for a while when she was a younger kid, but um, she was still around it, right? She didn't ski, and like my mom does not ski. She doesn't compete, but she is just as involved as anybody else, right? She's a scorer, and she's a nationally rated scorer. So at nationals, actually last week, she was an appointed official. So
Wow.
yeah, there are so many different things within the sport that you can get involved with that I think it kind of brings a community from far and wide that you can't really find in other sports. And so that's why I think it's so drawing to the people that are inside of it, because you can do it with everybody in your life, right? There's 85-year-old people who are still more involved than just about anybody else as a 7-10-year-old kid. So
Wow. So, what went into wanting to water ski in college? Because you guys have done it all your life. And what has that transition been like with the time commitment and just being with the team?
yeah, I'd say it was kind of a no-brainer for me. I didn't know what school I wanted to go to when I was in high school. I had kind of set my eyes on Alabama, and I really wanted to go ski at Alabama. They have a really good collegiate water ski team, and so that was something that I was almost dead set on, is going to this school and competing. And as it got closer, right, I was kind of fell in love. I was born in Lincoln, grew up in Lincoln, and I love Lincoln. So um, the university is a great school, and the people here are amazing. And so there's a lot of people on the ski team that had run it previously that I was friends with, and so they, I guess somewhat convinced me, and I decided I wanted to stay in Lincoln, and I didn't want to move to Alabama because I wanted to stay here and ski, and I wanted to take the team for what it was now and hopefully make it better. So that was probably the most important thing for me, is taking a team that um, had a really strong foundation and helping to make it something even bigger and greater. And we've succeeded in that. We've done a really great job at making a very strong, nationally competitive team. So I'm super proud of that, and I think everybody on the team is really proud of that. Everybody involved with it, whether on the team or volunteers that help us. I think everybody is super excited with what we've built.
Yeah.
For me, Sam and my dad were a big push for it.
Mhm.
I never wanted to go far. I always wanted to stay home and go to UNL, but
Yeah.
I wanted to be more involved in the sorority life. I was also a dancer, so I even kind of thought about maybe joining the dance team. I decided not to, but when I decided not to, they really pushed me to the ski team. And I'm really happy that I did decide to join it. I honestly got so much out of it, and I have become closer with the team. It was such a great experience. And honestly, I have no complaints at all. So I'm very happy I did. And I will definitely continue and try and grow it as the years go on, even without Sam. But
Oh, I
yeah.
love that. Yes. So, Sam, you're a senior, you're a freshman. What has it been like doing it together for this 1 year?
It's been a lot of fun. Like Sam said, skiing is such a family sport anyway. So it's been great to, like, as we've grown up, go to tournaments together. He's always got my back. He's always been there. He's my coach. And I also aspire to be like him in the skiing.
Aw.
Like, he's so talented, and I wish, but it's been great being on a team with him and really getting to feel like all the highs and lows together as a
Mhm.
team. And I just feel like it brings us so much closer. I love that we have something that we can share. Not a lot of siblings have like one sport that they both do, that they
Yeah.
both love, that they can bond over. So I think it brings us closer together in that way. And it's been a lot of fun.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's been amazing. We share something that takes up so much of our time, right? We spend so much of our time together, and that's kind of what we were talking about before we were on the radio here, is like we are very involved in family, and we have a big family that we are always doing something with, and that kind of bled over into the ski team, right? Our family is incredibly involved in the ski team, and they're incredibly involved in water skiing in general, and so none of that stopped when we started skiing for Nebraska. It continued, and it grew, actually, right? Our family is just as involved in collegiate water skiing as they were in individual water skiing, and so it's kind of the same thing, right? We didn't skip a beat, and all the Webbers are at the tournaments. So
I love that. A full family affair. My first thing I thought was like, where do you guys practice? Like, Where do you find a large enough water to do all this?
Yeah, so we have a lake house out in Ashland, and that's where our team practices as well.
Mm.
So there's a course on it. It was built for water skiing. Our neighbors dug it to be a water ski lake. So they're also super involved in the team, and it's great because they're all around all the time and they help us with the team. So yeah, that's where we practice most evenings.
Yeah. And so you guys are coming off of a big weekend of a lot of accomplishments. Can you tell me about competing nationally in Texas this past weekend?
Yeah, it was awesome. We love the opportunity. We're so excited that we've been able to do it, compete nationally for 3 years now in a row. It's something that our club had a goal of doing for many years, and we're just missing the cut for it. And so we finally got it when I was a sophomore, and that was you know we were ecstatic about the opportunity. And it was actually at the same site that it was this past weekend that we went down to in Texas. So it has been amazing. I wouldn't change a part of my collegiate skiing career for the world. I think, kind of the trials that we went through, the the struggles that we found as a team, and the things that we worked out have been amazing. And I think that they've made us so strong because of what we've had to endure, as a team. I think it's important to kind of struggle together, and we really did that. And we had a lot of great tournaments, and we had a lot of people that have had bad tournaments in the past, or had bad practice sets or whatever, that were able to bounce back because they knew the weight of what we were trying to do. And so I think everybody really bought into that culture of, we have one goal that we want to accomplish, and we did that. And I am very proud of everybody on the team that has been a part of that. So the tournament was amazing. We had so much fun. It is, I think everybody on the team would agree that it's the most fun tournament of the year. Getting to travel to Texas and compete against some of the best water skiers in the world, the best water skiers in the world, is awesome. And it's an opportunity that I don't think anybody looks over. So.
And of course, you didn't mention this, but you won first place individually, and this is your third time doing that. I mean, what does that say to just kind of your training and how Nebraska's team has prepared you for that?
Yeah, it's been super rewarding. I think it's awesome. I'm incredibly excited. I have always it's always been something that I've worked towards. Every time I go out and practice, right? That's the X on the calendar is nationals, especially collegiate. And that's what every water skier works towards. I have been so fortunate that I um, have been able to. Our team has been able to make it, and I've been able to compete on that stage. And it has taken so many people and so much time. And so it's awesome that we get to do that. And yeah, I've had a ton of fun competing at that level of the sport. And it really, competing at that level individually inside of a team sport is such an odd dynamic that I don't think you can't get that really in most sports, right? It's either a team sport or an individual sport. But
Yeah.
Collegiate water skiing is kind of both.
Mm.
And you try and beat yourself, and that's the most important thing. And yeah, I'm super fortunate that I've had those opportunities. Yeah, it's been amazing, super
Yeah.
fun.
And I know we were talking earlier about how you guys make it look so easy, but it's a very hard sport to learn. What kind of goes into it, and kind of how hard is it really?
A lot of time.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Kidding.
Yeah, no, I would say it's one of the hardest sports. It's one of the hardest sports to master, and I don't think anybody has ever mastered it.
Mhm.
And I think Allie will agree. Every single water skier says it is the most frustrating sport they've ever tried.
Mhm.
There is nothing more frustrating. As I like to compare it to golf, where you might have an amazing day, and then the next day go out on the course and have the worst round you've ever golfed before. And
Mhm.
water skiing is the exact same, and maybe worse.
Yeah.
there is it is a humbling experience.
Mm.
And everybody everybody has stories of that.
Yeah.
Right? And
Mhm.
Honestly, just drive, because sometimes it sucks. You can take some hard falls. It hurts. It's cold sometimes. It's windy, but you got to keep going. You got to keep pushing yourself. And sometimes you can never figure out how to do it. And it's so frustrating until one day. I always just say you have to wait until it clicks and it just makes sense. And then you're like, oh, that's how you do it.
There it is.
Yep. And then it starts to get a little bit easier. But before that,
I think exactly what Allie's saying. The same is true about coaching, where you can talk to 1,000 coaches or whatever, and they can all tell you the exact same thing in a different way, and it won't work. And you can do, every single person has a very similar idea of how to water ski correctly and what to change about your form or about your style or about your timing or whatever it is. Everybody has a very similar idea of what makes a good water skier, but they all say it differently. And so you can work with, 1,000 different coaches, but you will find the one that says what you're doing wrong the correct way. And I think that's what's more important about coaching is not what you're saying, it's how you're communicating what somebody's doing wrong. Which, as we talked about earlier today, I have been more involved in the coaching side of it. And that's what I like to do more, even than competing. I like to coach. And that's what's challenging, right? There's, the way that you tell somebody to do something, you can tell 5 different people the exact same thing in 5 different ways and to make it work. And you have to, no 2 people, no 2 water skiers are going to, have the same thing click from the same coaching. So you have to be a different coach for each person, which is incredible. And you have to be a different skier for each coach, right? There's the same is true.
Well, I'm so excited to get more into that right after the break. We'll have more with Sam and Allie in just a second.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Brought to you by General Fire and Safety, Raisin Canes, Perch Merch, Sunbelt Rentals, Mullen Motors, Select Plumbing, and the Kindler Hotel. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now's the time to get your John Deere equipment inspected and prepared for next season. Acres trained technicians will thoroughly evaluate your machine and get it running at peak performance. And for a limited time, Acres is offering early inspection incentives. Sign up before December 15th and qualify for a discount on parts installed by Acres. Get no interest and no payments until November of 25 with approved financing through John Deere Financial. Some restrictions apply. Contact your nearest Acres location for details.
It takes hard work to make Nebraska the right place to raise a family, build a business, or grow a community. We're counting on working parents to make it happen, and they're counting on childcare professionals to have their backs. Employers and other contributors can earn up to $100,000 tax credit for strengthening childcare in our communities and state. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Over 75% of the patients that come to Limitless Male have been told over and over again by their primary care providers that their testosterone level is fine. Guess what? If you have all the symptoms of low testosterone, you're not fine. Come get a second opinion at Limitless Male. We have helped tens of thousands of men feel optimal again, and we can help you. Stop waiting. Come see the men's health experts. Book your free consult online at limitlessmale.com.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Patriot Plumbing at 402-464-7411 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-464-7411.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Early break. Anthony in the mailbag says, good morning, guys. Question for the mailbag. If you were trapped in a 10 by 10 foot by 10 foot concrete room with one animal, what is the largest animal you could kill with nothing but your bare hands?
I'd like to think I could whip an ostrich.
Get a hold of his neck. He's going to whip him around. He's going to whip him around.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. Back to Off the Field on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Kendall Lanier.
Welcome back to Off the Field. I'm with Sam and Allie Weber, two of Nebraska's water skiers on the water ski team, which is so cool. We were just talking about how hard the sport is and just how frustrating it can be. Talk about the mental side of that and kind of what it takes to kind of keep coming back every day when it can be very frustrating.
Honestly, like I said earlier, it's all in the drive. Sometimes you got to walk it off after a bad set. I definitely know I've had some where it was like, okay, leave me alone.
Mhm.
I don't want to do this for a couple days. I never want to look at my water ski again, but you just got to keep going. You got to get back out there. It's like any sport. You have great days, you have bad days. You just got to keep pushing forward. That's how I do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. What do you?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of it is the frustration is because it is so mental. And competing at a tournament kind of puts that front and center. You know that, at that point, like I said, a lot of water skiing is competing against yourself in practice, right? It's so measurable that if you know your good days and you know your bad days, right?
Mhm.
Even if you don't feel great, you could still have a day where you score well in practice. But I think so much of it, like I said, is mental because you are judging yourself constantly on how
Right.
you are competing, on how you're feeling, and there are no second chances in water skiing, really, right? If you mess up, it is crucial, and it might end your day, end the tournament, and so I think that's why it's so important to be mentally rigid in the sport. It's one of those things. A lot of it is kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy where if you think you're going to ski poorly or if you have doubts, you will ski poorly.
Yeah.
And I think that's true in a lot of sports. And it's beating that hurdle is the most important thing that you can learn. Learning how to compete and learning how to tune out everything else that's going on around you that day in the tournament or in practice even is the most important thing that a water skier or an athlete in general can learn. It is very, very crucial in water skiing.
Yeah, I bet. And you guys are technically a club and not like a traditional sport at UNL. Has there ever been a push to make it a sport, or do you think there are benefits of it being a club?
Yeah, there has been a push, and I've had a lot of conversations about what it being a sanctioned sport would look like with people at the university, and that's something that I was very interested in. I'm still interested in it. Excuse me. I think it would be really, really good for the sport of water skiing to have more Division I schools with a lot of funding, giving them to water ski teams. And you see it a little bit in the South of some of these smaller universities having Division I teams for the university, and they get good funding. They get a lot of support from the university. Unfortunately, it seems like it's a possibility at Nebraska. Obviously, the conversations haven't really gone anywhere, but it's one of those things that there is a big trade-off, and it is an investment. As is any other sport at the university, right? It's an investment for them. So, trying to advertise the team as something that could be profitable to them would be important. And we've been able to somewhat do that, but who knows? Who knows what would happen?
It takes time.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time, and it would take a lot of convincing for them. There's a lot of moving parts that would have to go into it, and so I just don't know that we've found the right people to have the conversations with, and I don't know that we've found the right time to have the conversations. And it's something that we are very interested in, and I hope that one day it happens. But I've kind of been told not now. So
yeah, at least you guys have started the conversation.
Yeah.
So at the tournament this past weekend in Texas, there were several other schools from the Midwest. So talk about, why do you think it's so big in the Midwest that might be surprising to people?
Yeah, collegiate water skiing in the Midwest is a really strong community, and there are a lot of people that, that's kind of how they identify themselves more so than in the South. I think the reason that is because, the quality of skiing in the South is, it's inarguably better. There are a lot better water skiers in the South because of how much water time they get, because of their opportunities with the schools and stuff like that. So, it is better in the South, but we have a lot of people that have seen the sport for what it is, which is fun and super rewarding and a great way to build amazing relationships with people. And I think that's what's important about doing it in college. And so I think the aspect of, this is a group of people who are all friends that rally around one thing that they like to do, is important in the Midwest. And I think that's what happens. And that's why it's so strong, and why we have more people in collegiate water skiing in the Midwest that are about that. And they're there to have fun, and it is fun. And, we're very thankful that we get to go to school in the Midwest and see that, and see the sport as something different than what we grew up around. That was it was almost a culture shock for Allie and I both, seeing, how different the collegiate water skiing world is from individual AWSA competitions. And that change was big. And so I think that is why it is. I think that's why that happens, is because it's a group of people that are there for fun. And that's what they do. They have fun.
And they go because they genuinely want to be there, and it's not all about the scores. So
yeah,
that's a good time.
That's the other thing, right? The people are out there to have a good time, and they don't.
And they genuinely have like a passion for it. Like, it's not just to take home a medal. It's not to win. It's not to, I don't know, just take everything, but it's genuinely to be there, to make memories, have a good time. They're doing it because they want to be there and not because they have to, which I think just makes it that much more of a great experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Less burnout for sure.
Yeah, like for sure. Like we were talking about, they're there because they want to be there, not because if they ski poorly, they don't have a scholarship anymore. Right. It's the same type of thing that you see with, why are there more people in a football club, in the flag football club, than there are at, playing for Nebraska on Saturday? Well, they're there because, and they're probably, maybe having more fun because they're not going to lose a scholarship if they don't perform well. And
less pressure.
Yeah, there is a lot less pressure, and they're there for a different reason. So
It makes the successes that much greater when you go in and you have low expectations and then you do great and it's like, we made it.
Right. Yeah. So we all know it gets very cold in Nebraska. How do you kind of deal with that being a water sport?
We
Oh,
leave.
lots of heater tops and
Yeah.
full wetsuits,
Uh-huh.
or we leave. Yeah, takes a lot to convince me to ski in the winter. Sam, you could probably get him now, but I told my dad, I was like, I'm hanging this up until it gets hot again.
Yeah.
It is way too cold for me.
Yeah, and investing in nice wetsuits and investing in plane tickets are kind of crucial for being a water skier in the
Yes.
Midwest. But yeah, it's important. I would say it's very similar to the collegiate situation where the people in the Midwest are there because they have to work to be there, and it means that much more when they're able to go out in June in swim trunks and ski, and they can't do that in January, and
Right.
they sit inside and they look at the boat in the garage, and it makes it that much sweeter in June when you are able to ski. So taking the most out of your time on the water is important, and that's we live for the summer.
Yeah. So prime months are like June through September, you say?
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
say
I'd say you
so.
could probably start in May,
Mhm.
maybe late April if you're like the cold.
Yeah.
For me, it's May.
Yeah, it's so dependent on our the weather that year. There have been years that we have skied in late March and we will ski until November. Um, we will probably continue to ski. I would say that we'll ski in the next couple weeks, but
You might.
yeah, well,
I
after
definitely will
I'm
not
done.
continue.
well after that, yeah, there's
Yeah.
not much. There won't be much skiing going on
Mhm.
in a month from now. So, but yeah, it's so dependent on the weather that year because it changes so much. But
Yeah. And water skiing is a very big sport around the world. You guys compete in competitions outside of collegiate. What is that like competing at the very high level in that? And do you think water skiing as a sport is kind of where it needs to be as a whole?
Um, it's different because obviously competing in like AWSA, it's an individual sport, so it just brings a whole different aspect when you put a team behind it.
Mhm.
I feel like you have a lot more pressure. It's probably taken quite a bit more seriously when you start to do individuals. But we're all still one big family. We've met so many great family friends and even kids our age through regular skiing. So we all come together and we all see each other, but it's definitely a more serious environment. Um, yeah.
yeah, no, I'd say it's a very different dynamic. There are a lot of people that grow up water skiing that end up collegiate water skiing and then come back. Like I was saying before, it was kind of a culture shock to see collegiate water skiing because it is so different, and everything about the sport is different. The only thing that stays the same is what you're doing you know when you're skiing. And so I think the difference really is in the competition and what it means to you. If you're traveling all over the country to ski with a team, if you don't ski well, your team can still succeed, right? It's no
Right.
different than any other team sport. But you might fly all the way to Florida or fly all the way to Chile or fly all the way to Europe and ski poorly, and
Mm.
then what are you left with, right? So
Yeah.
no, it's different, and I like both of them, and I will continue to water ski. And as for your question about where water skiing is globally, I don't think it's where I would want it to be. I think there's always room for growth, and there are so many conversations about how to grow the sport, and it has been growing. And I think a big thing to grow the sport is collegiate water skiing. That has been an amazing avenue, and there have been a lot of very, very influential people that have bought into that side of the sport that have continued to grow it because of collegiate water skiing and getting these people that maybe have never skied in their life before involved in the sport in a place where it's cheap and easy and accessible,
Right.
because it's not a cheap sport, but you can do it for cheap in college, which is amazing. And I think it's an amazing opportunity to be able to do it in college. And I love that people have taken up that opportunity. So I think that's the most important thing, is focusing on avenues for growth. And I think collegiate water skiing is the most important avenue for growth for water skiing as a whole sport.
Yeah, amazing. Well, we will have much more with Sam and Allie right after the break.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're not advertising your business on your vehicle, you're missing out on a lot of potential clients, and it's time to change that. Automotive Solutions excels in vinyl wraps and company IDs. They offer BG services with free warranties available, and they service all cars and diesel trucks too. They also service fleets, and if you push snow in the winter, get ahead now with your vehicles. Don't forget, Ticket listeners receive a service discount on preventative maintenance. Call Automotive Solutions for an appointment at 531-249-5600 and stop by at 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in October. Try their brand new caramel apple butter cream cheese or apple coffee cake muffins through their new partnership with local apple orchard, Picnic Hill. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's most dependable side-by-side, the Mule Pro, built to take on your most demanding days. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of October. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with large selection of motorcycles and side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Stop by every Saturday for their Husker tailgate with free food, drinks, and games.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Have you been accused of a crime and don't know where to turn? At Liberty Law Group, we understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you're up against the legal system, you need an advocate you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Liberty Law's experienced trial attorneys are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Don't let a criminal charge ruin your life. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group, trial attorneys you need, advocates you deserve. That's 877-42-LIBERTY or libertylawnebraska.com.
Landmark Implement helps you put dirt in its place with increased accuracy and greater speed thanks to the John Deere Smart Grade. This fully integrated 3D grade control system boosts job site productivity and reduces labor costs with fewer passes and less wasted material, meaning more bids won and higher margins. No masts, no cables, just clear views of the job site. Visit your local Landmark Implement today and discover the profit-boosting power of the Smart Grade and experience the Landmark difference.
Over 75% of the patients that come to Limitless Mail have been told over and over again by their primary care providers that their testosterone level is fine. Guess what? If you have all the symptoms of low testosterone, you're not fine. Come get a second opinion at Limitless Male. We have helped tens of thousands of men feel optimal again, and we can help you. Stop waiting. Come see the men's health experts. Book your free consult online at limitlessmale.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Back to Off the Field on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Kendall Lanier.
Welcome back to Off the Field. I'm Kendall Lanier, joined by Sam and Allie Weber on the Nebraska water ski team. So you guys both are in leadership roles. Sam, you've been president for 2 years prior to this, and now you do some coaching. How have you guys kind of stepped into that and stepped into a role bigger than just being a part of the team?
Don't forget about your social media role over there too.
Yeah, no, I think it's been great. We've been able to contribute more than we just do on the water, which I think is what's important. And, like I was saying before, growth has always been the most important thing. And that's what I've focused on. I was touching on it earlier where I don't want people to come to the school and not know what the water ski team is. And so we did a ton of events where we were very, very visible, and we would put our boat out in the middle of the Union, and anybody walking to class would see it, right? And everybody's always curious about a boat sitting, on the middle of campus. So,
Yeah.
They'd come up and talk to you. And I think that was important for us to, kind of associate ourselves with the school and have people, that have never heard maybe that there even is competitive water skiing know that, oh, our school does have a water ski team. And, that is something that I could join, or that is something that my buddy who grew up water skiing in Minnesota or, grew up whatever on the lake
Yeah.
could join. That would be a cool thing for him, right? So I think that's the most important thing for us is focusing on how we get more people. And we want to touch as many people on campus as possible. We want everybody to know who we are and what we do. And so that has been, like I said, my biggest drive is just getting people. Above that, I have also wanted to coach them and make them as good of athletes as possible. And we've done a pretty good job at that. We have a really good team. And we have an amazing, support system of people that are great coaches as well, that help us in every aspect of the sport, because it has taken a village to get to where we are. And I think everybody on the team recognizes that, which is also important. And they are so thankful for everybody that has helped us. But yeah, I want to continue to grow what we are doing in multiple aspects. The university has also been a help, and I think that is something that I focused on a lot is communication with the university. And again, another way to make us more visible for the university to know what's going on. But communication with the university, helping lobbying for funding, which is incredibly important for us, right?
Yeah,
We can't,
definitely.
we can't do this without money. It's expensive, and we want to make it as affordable for the people that are involved as possible. And I think we've done a pretty good job at that. I've always told the people on the team that this is the cheapest place that you will ever find to compete in this sport, and you will never, ever get the opportunity to compete in it for
Mhm.
any cheaper than what we are doing now.
Yeah.
So don't pass it up.
Mhm. So how have you guys grown as a person, do you think, by doing water skiing your whole life?
Oh, I think it's made me make so many new relationships. It also taught me how to interact with other adults. There's a lot of adults in the sport. And just being around family and older people and mature people, it helped me grow as a person, I feel like it helped me mature at a younger age. And brought me up in that type of way. And then it also just, yeah, it helped me make so many great memories too. So,
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's been important. We interact with people all over the world, and that's we have a very diverse view on what's going on everywhere because we have friends all over all over the country and all over the world that, all kind of rally around the sport. So I think that's the biggest thing, is forming the relationships, learning, how to fail and how to succeed, and, how to handle yourself in those situations. So yeah, I'd say that that's the biggest lesson is, how do I conduct myself when I am extremely frustrated about what's going on, but I have nothing to do, I can't do anything about it. The only thing
Right.
that I can do about it is go back home and continue to practice. And
Yeah.
that's very important for every athlete. So.
Definitely. Are there any misconceptions about water skiing that people kind of like don't know and get the wrong idea when you say it?
The one I always get is like, "Oh, so it's like wakeboarding. So you're basically just wakeboarding." It's like, kind of. I
Yeah.
mean, you could think about it that way, but not exactly.
Mhm.
Or just the constant like, "Oh, so you ski, so like snow skiing, like how you do that in the summer?" And it's like, yeah, there's no ice involved with this one.
Right. Have you guys ever done snow skiing?
Yeah, we have. He's
Okay.
good at it. I am not. I always try, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's too cold. I want to go shopping.
So it does kind of translate the skill.
Not for me. Maybe for him.
Somewhat, right?
Yeah.
On a basic level of keeping yourself upright and everything. Yeah, there's a lot of skills to translate, but also not.
Mhm. Yeah. Are there any sports that you guys did before that helped you with water skiing?
Yeah, I'm a dancer, or not anymore, but I grew up dancing, so I think a lot of balance helped me. I think it helped me learn some, especially in tricks a little bit easier, just being able to stay on top of myself, knowing where my body weight is placed on the ski. So I think that kind of gave me a big push forward and being able to succeed in it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was a runner for a long time, and I think, those two sports have a lot of similarities where, you can do all the preparation that you want, and if you beat yourself mentally before you beat yourself physically, then it's game over. So, yeah, I think running helped a lot. It kept me in very, very good shape. I don't run as much as I would like to anymore.
Mhm.
So maybe, that's probably something that I should get back into. But yeah, that is it. Both of those sports have taught me a lot of lessons, and they are both frustrating and extremely hard to continue to have the motivation to do. It is always hard to get up in the morning and put your running shoes on and go for a run.
Yeah.
And, I think most people would agree that, it is hard in Nebraska in October to put a swimsuit on and jump in a freezing lake. So they're both very difficult.
Yeah. I was watching videos of both of you, and I think you were like coming around or something in the water. I'm like, that must take a lot of core strength. Like you have to be very strong to like brace the water. I was just very impressed.
I
So
feel like it's all in like the upper body.
yes.
Like a lot of people
Okay.
are always like, how do you stay so toned in your upper body? I genuinely think it's from skiing. Holding on to that rope.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of core strength
Mhm.
involved. I've never done an ab workout in my life, but maybe water skiing is my
It
ab workout.
shows.
Yeah.
It really shows.
Yeah, I love that. So, what are the biggest skills you need to do water skiing for someone who hasn't done it before?
I'd say balance.
Persistence
Yeah.
Yeah.
is probably the biggest one, because yeah, like we were talking about, it's frustrating, and
Doesn't come easy.
no, it doesn't. And there are so many things that you have to do before you can even get up on a water ski, and the road is very long, right, to be competitive in it. And so I think you just have to not quit. It's not
Mhm.
like any other sport that if I want to play soccer, the first step is going out and starting to kick the ball.
You gotta learn how to get
Yeah,
up.
you have to learn how to
Yeah.
get up on a water ski, how to be comfortable in the water, how to, before you can actually start to learn the skills to actually compete in the sport and do it on a competitive level. Um, you have to learn how to do it on a non-competitive level. So yeah, persistence. There's strength and agility are probably involved, just as much as well. But
Mhm. Is skiing in the ocean a lot different than the lake?
I've
I'd
never
imagine.
skied in the ocean.
yeah, I've never skied in the ocean.
Okay,
I know
yeah.
there are sites where they do that.
Mhm.
There's one in San Diego that they ski in the ocean, but yes, it is different.
Okay.
People people try and stay away from salt water because it's it's hard on boats, and it on boats not made for salt water, but it's hard on your equipment, and so people try and stay away from it. There have been some really big tournaments though that have been held in the ocean, and the rollers on the lake, the waves, stuff like that. It being so deep, it is difficult, and a lot of people have complained about those tournaments that they haven't been the best options maybe for them. But
Yeah.
yes, it is very different.
I didn't even know that. I had no idea people skiing on the ocean.
That is so cool. So, water skiing isn't a sport you can just kind of go out and do on your own because you need someone to drive the boat. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So how have you been able to like strengthen your individual qualities while still making sure you're being a supportive team member in this new college transition? I guess for you, it's most recent.
Yeah, I would say for me, honestly, just being there for the team is obviously what I do a lot of during practice. During their time, when we have practice times, I usually coach them. I let them practice. I'll drive the boat for them. And then just finding those times that practice isn't open for the team to go up and ski. And then I also do a lot of training in the summer. So I would say that helped quite a bit. I went to a lot of ski camps this year just to further my training. Just trying to find time anywhere I can in this busy life to just practice, and then also try and make it up to ski team practice as well. So I can help them out too.
Yeah. So is off season kind of chill for you guys, or do you still do anything to prepare?
This year it'll be pretty chill. I guess I'll probably work out to hopefully stay in shape.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to dance, which kept me in shape. But other than that, I guess we'll probably travel a little bit to Florida.
Okay.
And ski down at lakes there a couple times. But other than that, it's pretty much just staying on top of working out, staying in shape, trying to feel your body properly. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be pretty laid back. I think a lot of people in the off season stick to research and what things am I going to change when I get back out on the water, right? That is something that when you're so involved in the sport for 6 months out of the year, and then the other 6 months you can't do the sport, you can't do it at all, then you kind of have to find other avenues to consume the sport. And it's kind of an addiction for most people. Like they won't ever get away from it. And yeah, so it's a lot of research, it's watching stuff, it's talking to other people, other water skiers. It's figuring out what's the first thing I'm going to fix when I get back out on the water. Maybe I should get a new ski, right? Everybody has their way of coping with, the cabin fever of the off season in Nebraska.
So for anyone who wants to get involved with water skiing, how can they do so?
Yeah. For collegiate water skiing, you can get in touch with our school. And if you're a student at UNL, please follow our Instagram. It's Nebraska Water Ski on Instagram, or find our website online.
Please join. We're losing a lot of people, so it would be great to have some new team members.
A lot of graduating seniors. So if you're at all interested in Water Ski Club, please come and talk to us. We are always willing to have a chat with you, and we love the sport, and we would love if you would love it just as much as we do.
Yes, I love that. Well, thank you so much for introducing me to water skiing. I'm so intrigued, so inspired by you guys. So thank you so much to Sam and Allie Weber, and thank you all for tuning in to Off the Field with Kendall Lanier.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame